You know that feeling, right? You walk into a room, maybe it's an old office, a deserted hallway, and you get this weird sense of déjà vu. A place you know you've been before, but you can't place it. Maybe in a dream? Well, what if that place was real? What if you could just accidentally trip and fall right into it? Today, we're taking a journey into that glitch. We're going to break down the backrooms. So right off the bat, this quote sets the stage perfectly. A two-way street, change and stagnation. It kind of hints at this world that plays by its own totally bizarre rules. Think about it, a place that's always evolving, always changing, but at the same time, it's completely stuck. It never forgets. It's like the past is always right there with you. And the future? Well, the future is just another endless, repeating hallway. All right, Section 1, a glitch in reality. So how does this all start? How do you even get there? Well, it begins with a mistake, a tiny little glitch in the system, that one moment where you fall out of the world you know and into all those empty spaces in between. The official term for this is no-clipping. And yeah, if that sounds familiar, it's because it's straight out of video game lingo. It's that bug where you can pass through walls. But just imagine this in real life. You stumble, right? But instead of hitting the floor, your foot just keeps going. You fall through it, through the very fabric of reality itself, tumbling out of our world and landing in, well, somewhere else entirely. And this is where you land. Level 0. The absolute poster child for the backrooms. The sensory overload here is, well, it's the monotony that gets you. That one single, sickly yellow wallpaper stretching on for what feels like millions of square miles. And the sound, that constant, maddening hum of fluorescent lights that never, ever turn off. And all that smell. You can almost imagine it, can't you? Old, damp carpet. But the thing that really hits you first, the most crushing feeling, you are completely, utterly alone. You know, there's actually a name for this feeling. It's called a liminal space. It's basically those in-between places. Think about it. Empty waiting rooms, school hallways after everyone's gone home, abandoned malls. We all recognize them, but they're deeply unsettling because they're frozen. They're meant for people, but there's no one there. It gives you this weird sense of nostalgia, but it's a nostalgia that just feels wrong. Deeply and fundamentally wrong. So you're starting to get used to the quiet, the soul-crushing loneliness, and then a new, much more terrifying thought starts to creep in. Maybe you hear a sound down the hall, or you catch a shadow moving out of the corner of your eye, and that's when it hits you. You are not alone. I mean, let me just ask you straight up. After everything we've just described, do you really think you're alone in here? And what's so wild is the sheer range of things you can run into. See, not everything here is a monster. You might stumble upon someone like Aiden, who actually helps people out, or Theodore Kinsley, a guy who just wants to tell you a story over a meal. But then there's the other side. You've got imposters. They look perfectly human, but get this, they have absolutely no scent. Or even worse, phobic centipedes, which can communicate with you intelligently right before they attack. Terrifying. Okay, let's make this threat feel a little more real. Know your enemy, right? So you've got puffers. They look grotesque, but they're actually pretty timid. Act tough and they'll probably run. The catch, the gas coming from those tubes on their back is deadly. Then you have splats. They're these amorphous blobs that try to latch onto your neck. The trick is to just walk calmly and maybe wrap a scarf or something around your neck for protection. Easy enough. But then you have the mangled. It looks unnervingly human, and you'll know it's near when you hear a whistling wind. Its attack isn't physical. It forces your absolute worst fears, your most painful memories, right into your head. All right, Section 3, surviving the unlivable. So let's recap. You're lost in an infinite maze. You're being hunted by things straight out of a nightmare. It sounds impossible, right? But here's the thing about people. We find a way. Against all odds, humanity survives. The real question is, how? Okay, your number one absolute lifeline in this place is almond water. Seriously. And it's not just for drinking. For some reason, nobody can figure out this stuff is almost magical. It smells sweet. It's revitalizing. It can clear your head when you're panicking, restore your energy. Some people say it even heals small wounds. Finding a source of this stuff is literally the difference between life and death. So if you ever
somehow find yourself there, here is your beginner's survival guide. Rule 1, find that almond water. We just talked about it. Rule 2, if the lights start to flicker, that's bad. That's called a flickering event, and it brings out the worst of the worst. Do not use a light source. Find a corridor, and you hide fast. And finally, the long-term goal, locate a human settlement. You have to find other people. Because yeah, you are not the only human who's ever fallen through. Not by a long shot. And people have adapted. You'll find little encampments, sure, but there are also these huge, organized factions trying to bring some kind of order to the chaos. You've got the MEG, the Major Explorer Group. They're kind of the good guys, trying to research the place and protect wanderers. Then you get the weirder groups, like the Followers of Jerry, which is basically a cult that worships some kind of bird entity. And then you've got the Eyes of Argos, this militant group that acts like judge, jury, and executioner, arresting criminals and taking your stuff.
Okay, so you've got the basics down. You know how to survive the mono-yellow hallways. But here's the thing. That's just the lobby. We've barely scratched the surface. The Backrooms isn't just one place. It's pretty much infinite. So you could be walking through those endless corridors for weeks, and then you open a door and bam, you're in level 11. An endless city, skyscrapers as far as the eye can see. I mean, can you imagine the shock? It's so full of other people that it actually has its own economy, its own government. It's this bizarre, impossible island of civilization right in the middle of all that chaos. Or you could end up somewhere completely different, like the crushing darkness of level 7. It's just an infinite, lightless ocean. And the real horror here isn't what's lurking in the water. It's that there's nothing. It's a completely dead, sterile abyss. The silence, the sheer scale of the emptiness, that's way more terrifying than any monster could ever be. And the variety is just mind-blowing. Take level 37. It's a massive jungle under a sky that's always purple. The trees look totally alien, but hey, some of them have edible fruit. And deep inside this jungle, you can find these ancient Mayan-like temples. It hints that maybe something else lived here, long before any humans fell in, adding this whole other layer of mystery to the place. And then, just when you think you've seen it all, there's level 599. It's not a room, it's not a landscape, it's outer space. You're floating in an interstellar void, no suit required, orbiting this huge blue hypergiant star. I mean, this is where the rules of reality don't just bend, they completely shatter. It just shows you how boundless and utterly surreal this place can get. So, the scale is just mind-boggling, right? The creativity is endless. But it all kind of brings us back to one central question. Why? What is this place? And more importantly, why are we so fascinated by it? I mean, really think about it. Why has this collaborative internet story, this massive, sprawling nightmare, why has it grabbed our collective imaginations so tightly? There's clearly something more going on here than just a simple, scary story. Well, some thinkers, like Slavoj Žižek, have a theory. The idea is that the Backrooms really clicks with us because it taps into a very modern anxiety, this feeling that our own reality is kind of inconsistent, that maybe there isn't some big, grand plan. And what's so cool is that the story itself mirrors this. It wasn't written by one author. It's a collaborative project built by thousands of people, piece by piece, on the internet. It's become the folklore of the digital age, and it captures this collective fear we have that the world we've built might just be one little glitch away from completely falling apart. And that right there, that's the core of its horror. It's a very modern horror. It's not about ghosts or some ancient curse. It's the fear of a universe that's just endlessly, algorithmically generated, like a video game that never ends. A non-place that has no purpose, no design, it just spits out rooms and entities forever. It's not haunted, it's just empty code. An undead digital world where there is no final boss, no escape. And that's the thought I want to leave you with, the one that really lingers. We look at the Backrooms, right, with its bizarre rules, its empty corporate spaces, that quiet, humming dread, and you just have to ask yourself, is this really an escape from our world, or is it just a mirror, a reflection of the strange, confusing, liminal world we're already living in?